Here's the deal. When I sit up there and I go to work every day, and I'm not a football player, but when I go to work every day, there are sacrifices that I make as a father all the time.
Listen, as someone who is a woman who has 2 scars that go from hip to hip because I've had 2 C-sections in an...
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffered a concussion during his team's 31-10 loss Thursday night to the visiting Buffalo Bills, marking another head injury for a player who previously expressed concern about his history of them. Tagovailoa left the game in the third quarter after he scrambled for a first down and took a hit to the head by Bills safety Damar Hamlin. He stayed on the ground and was attended to by Dolphins staff. Tua then eventually walked off the field under his own power and was replaced by backup quarterback Skylar Thompson. Tagovailoa was ruled out with a concussion via the Dolphins' social media. As we all know, Tua has a history of concussions, having suffered multiple during the 2022 season. In April 2023, he said he considered walking away from football for a time after the concussion issues.
Here's the deal. When I sit up there and I go to work every day, and I'm not a football player, but when I go to work every day, there are sacrifices that I make as a father all the time. I'm not around my daughters as much as I would like to be. I'm not with my family as much as I would like to be. Sometimes they resent it and what have you. I don't care. And you know why I don't care? Because I grew up starving. And as a result of that, anything that I do to ensure the well-being of my family moving forward, even in the event that I'm not around, as selfish as that may be, I'm willing to do it because I knew what it was like to grow up with nothing. These football players make those decisions every single day as men. Provide, protect. That's our number one priority. That's how most of us think. And that plays a role into the kind of decisions men make. Even when they're deemed selfish, foolish, ill-advised, or whatever, it comes with it when you're a man.
Listen, as someone who is a woman who has 2 scars that go from hip to hip because I've had 2 C-sections in an effort to provide for my family and create a family for my family, I understand sacrifice. A black woman in this country whose mortality rates are incredibly high, I understand making sacrifices and trying to mitigate risk when it comes to your family, expanding your family and protecting your family. All I am simply imploring is that anyone in Tua's corner, someone that truly believes and loves Tua, is having a real conversation with him right now about what quality of life looks like. And we all face an existential crisis at some point in our lives. You host a podcast called The Pivot, and all of us at some point have got to make a turn from the thing that we were defined for our entire lives. If we are surrounded by people that love us and can help us get to the conclusion that there is life after this, as dark and troublesome as it may be, as much as you sacrifice to get here, I'm just hoping someone, it ain't me, I got no dog in this fight, and I am not audacious enough to ask him. I'm hoping someone in that family, someone in his corner that truly loves him, is asking him to sit down and think long and hard about whether he wants to keep doing this. But I know risk.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
You're
anything
right. No disagreement there.
Very well said.
No disagreement
All right,
there.
let's leave.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. This Tua conversation, it's tough for me, dude. I lost a former teammate, Adrian Robinson, in 2015 to suicide. He had CTE, played in the NFL. I saw him at a Pep Boys in South Philadelphia about 2 weeks before he passed away. I think he was 26 years old. At the time, 91 pro athletes' brains, pro NFL players' brains had been autopsied, and 87 had shown they had chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I studied the brain for 10 years with a neuroscientist, 5 to 10 years, and I stopped because I started to learn so much about the brain, I was scaring myself. It's scary. Justin Strelzik, if y'all are familiar with him at all, he died playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe he was 35 years old. He was driving the wrong way down I-95, if I'm not mistaken, head on into a tank truck. I spoke with his ex-wife, Kiana McMahon, on a podcast years ago when I was in the midst of this research. And I'm just reminded how, again, the helmet, it protects the skull from fracture, but there's nothing that can really protect the brain from injury. I spent time trying to figure out if there's an athlete brain rehab facility, was talking to a neuroscientist about it. It never materialized, but just use diligence. Athletes, parents, coaches, use diligence about how you protect yourself, how you protect your brain. Parents, if y'all are interested, this is not a sell at all. My friend who I was researching with, Dr. Kristen Willemeyer, she wrote a book, Biohack Your Brain, how to boost cognitive health, performance, and power. I not only endorsed it, I read it just because as a former athlete, I was trying to figure out how can I preserve my own mental health. This one's tough. This one's tough. I just encourage y'all, use diligence, man. Protect your life, save your life, protect your loved ones' lives, save your loved ones' lives. This one's tough, man.
Ocho, let's start with the night. The Bills beat the Dolphins 31-10, but the news of the night came with Tua suffering another concussion. Ocho, knowing his history, I don't know why he had already had the first down. Why didn't he go down and slide? That's my thing. You know, Ocho, you probably played with a bum shoulder or a bum something. The last thing you want to do is get hit on it. So you ain't hit me on that shoulder. Or I'm gonna turn the other shoulder, let you hit me on the shoulder. That's good. But I'm not gonna let you hit me. If I know, Ocho, I've had head trauma, like 3 or 4 of those, I'm not taking. I'm gonna slide. That's what the protection is in for the quarterback. Tell me what
listen, what I did see is him trying to run for the first down, understanding he got the first down. I'm not sure if he was aware of already having the first down, but you already know how you're supposed to slide. You never slide head first. As a quarterback, that's one of the first things you learn when you scramble and you come out the pocket is how to slide correctly. Tua, you already know. You already know you've had 3 or 4 concussions. You missed not last season, but the previous season due to concussions. So you should always be aware, not only of surroundings, but when I'm talking about when enemies, not enemies, but when you're in danger. And when you got to know when to go down. You have to know when to go down. So I think he didn't realize he was well past the first down and didn't think DeMar Hamlin was going to close in that goddamn fast. And it was too late. It was too late. If anything, slide early. Slide early, and you always go feet first.
That's even more of a problem if he didn't know he had the first down, considering you're supposed to know. You can see, most guys know that. You can see that out of your peripheral because you looking left to right to make sure there's no oncoming trade. Nobody's finna sideswipe you. Okay. I got this first.
Well, you know how I know he didn't know he had the first? Because he was diving head first. Because if you already got the first, there's no need to be going forward at all. Just give yourself up.
No, he was trying.
Give yourself up.
No, he was trying to set the tone, trying to fire the crowd up. Nah. Remember, you like guys to fire. You like guys to set the tone.
That was different. That was Lamar going out of bounds and seeing the safety coming on and just give him a little shoulder, let him know it's going to be a long night.
Nah, I ain't finna give you no shoulder, not my throwing shoulder anyway. I give you the other shoulder, not the one I use to throw the football with. Ocho. And I don't take this lightly, and I really hate saying this, but 2 of them probably need to seriously consider sitting it down. If you notice, the concussions are starting to look worse and worse. If you notice, every time he has a head trauma, he get what they call rigor mortis. It's a doctor. This is what a doctor sent me when it happened. It's called decerebrate posturing, a rare abnormal body position that indicates severe brain damage or disruption of brain function. Is decerebrate rigidity or extensory posturing. Arms held straight out, rotated toward the center of the body, held parallel to the side. These are some of the symptoms. Legs extended and rigid. Toes pointed downward, turned slightly inward. Hands flexed. Back arched or stiff. Wrists flexed away from the body. Fingers curled. How many times have you seen him get that, Ocho?
Yeah, what, 3?
And and every time he gets it, Ocho, it's not, some people get it and they're a little like, okay, look, he got his bed wrong. But Ocho, he going stiff with it, Ocho. He's getting stiff.
Yeah. Listen, at this point, I heard what you just said about him probably sitting it down or shutting it down. You got to understand, I'm talking about they just paid Tua. They just paid Tua a lot of money because he is the future of the franchise and the quarterback. In order for them to contend, he has to be at the helm to do that. Now, in order to do that, he also has to be healthy and he has to protect himself. So at this point, going forth, he was able to play all last season without this type of injury, without any mistakes. When he does come back, and I'm sure he's going to come back, I'm not sure how long he's going to have to be in concussion protocol, but he has to take better care of his body, his head, and just make smarter decisions when he does scramble. Because you got to think, Tua is not known as a dual threat quarterback. It's not that many times he's going to be out there running around and taking off with the ball as opposed to a Josh Allen or, a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. So when he does scramble, he has to make the right decisions and protect himself and learn how to slide. Learn how to slide.